let's take a look at our top selections.
Race number 9 on Saturday at Santa Anita is the third. It's actually the second of 4 stakes races on the Saturday card. It's the Snow Chief Stakes for California breds. And it's always cool, at least to me, that some of the stars of yesteryear have stakes races named in their honor and stakes races that are still running. And it's also coincidental that 36 years ago on Saturday, June 19th, 1985, a 2-year-old colt trained by Mel Studi made his career debut at Hollywood Park, June 19th, 1985. And he won that Calbred maiden race. His name was Snow Chief. Snow Chief would go on to win 13 races from 24 starts. He made $3.3 million. He won 6 Grade 1 races: the Norfolk, the Hollywood Futurity, Florida and Santa Anita Derby, the Preakness, and the Strube Stakes. Trained by Mel Studi, Alex Solis rode Snow Chief for most of his career. And it's neat that Snow Chief has a race named in his honor. It's a little bit bizarre, if you ask me, that Snow Chief never ran on grass, and yet the Snow Chief is now run on grass. But let's go back in time and take a look at the final start of Snow Chief's 2-year-old season. And it was in the 1985 Hollywood Futurity, and Snow Chief running away with this race. He won by open lengths. That's a horse by the name of Ferdinand down on the outside grinding away. Ferdinand, of course, would win the Kentucky Derby the following spring when Snow Chief misfired, but Snow Chief would come right back 2 weeks later and win the Preakness Stakes. That's the 1985 Hollywood Futurity. Alex Solis aboard Mel Studi trained Snow Chief. This race is named in honor. This race being the $150,000 Snow Chief Stakes. It's race number 9 on Saturday at Santa Anita. And let's take a look at the field. They're going 1 1/8 on grass, 3-year-olds bred in California. And there seems to be I don't know if he's a standout, but he's going to get a lot of action. And that's number 2, None Above the Law. He's a 2-time stakes winner. He can run on dirt. He can run on synthetic. He can run on grass. He can do it all. He's won 4 of 10 and made $173,000. None Above the Law. Maybe he'll come right back and win the Snow Chief, just like he won his last 2 starts on synthetic and grass at Golden Gate Fields. But there are reasons to suspect that maybe he's not invincible. There are several others in the field with a chance. Jimmy Blue Jeans coming off a good allowance race up at Golden Gate Fields. Ferrariano, who was 25-1 and a maiden when he won an allowance race last time out. You might look at that race and say, well, that was a fluke. I don't think it was. We'll talk about him in just a minute. And None Above the Law, I guess the class of the field, if you want to call him the class of the field. Okay, let's talk about the 3-2-1s, or 4-2-1s actually. Number 7, Jimmy Blue Jeans, is a lightly raced gelding, and he's based in Northern California, and he kind of put it all together last time out at Golden Gate, and he scored an allowance victory in a race that kind of sets him up as a contender in the Snow Chief. This is Jimmy Blue Jeans last time out on grass at Golden Gate Fields, and he won kind of nicely. He won by 1 3/4 lengths, nearly 2 lengths. He ran away. It was his first start on grass, and it was the best race of his career. When 3-year-olds get good, there's no telling how good they will get. He's facing tougher on Saturday, Jimmy Blue Jeans is, but he's sharp. He won with a little something left, didn't he, at the wire? That was a good, solid win. Maybe grass is what he has wanted all along. He's only started 5 times. He's getting better, and I respect Jimmy Blue Jeans. But the horse that I might be interested in wagering on, depending on his price, is number 3, Ferrariano. Ferrariano sprinted 3 times before trainer Brian Corner finally stretched him out. And the only reason he didn't stretch him out any sooner is because just the way the condition book laid out, it did not work well for him to stretch out Ferrariano. I think there was a 1 1/8 maiden race in the book that Corner did not want to run 1 1/8 off of 6.5. So he waited and waited. And finally he said, well, doggone it, I got to run this horse long. It's what he wants to do. And so he found a 1-mile allowance race, a 1-mile allowance race last time out. And Ferrariano was 25-1. But let's take a look at the stretch run of Ferrariano defeating Found My Ball and Big Talker in this race. Big Talker is going to end up finishing third. It was only a prep race for Big Talker, who is back in this field on Saturday. He's adding blinkers. But Ferrariano, showing what trainer Brian Corner suspected all along, he wants to run 2 turns. That was Big Talker coming along to finish, pick up the pieces, and finish third. He wants to run long, Ferrariano did, and he validated Corner's opinion by scoring a 25-1 upset as a maiden facing winners. Now, he'll need to take another step forward to win the Snow Chief on Saturday, but he came home in less than 24 seconds, 23-4. It wasn't a killer come-home time, but he finished, and he has a right to continue his improving pattern, and I'm hoping that everybody takes a look at, well, this was a maiden, it was a fluke, he was 25-1, and lets him go again. A lot of times when a horse wins at a big price, you can sometimes come right back and bet them in their next start at a decent price. Certainly not 25-1, but maybe Ferrariano can go 6-1. Is that too much to ask? It might be. But Ferrariano is my second preference, but I wouldn't mind betting him straight against None Above the Law, who admittedly is the best horse in the race, the most accomplished horse in the race. And we're going to take a look at his most recent start. It was in the Alcatraz Stakes at Golden Gate Fields, and None Above the Law coming wide and winning going away. Good solid win by None Above the Law. The weird thing about this race is that None Above the Law, he rallied from last. He won going away by nearly 2 lengths. His final quarter mile, now, maybe this isn't right, but his final quarter mile was 25.54 seconds. So I wonder if maybe he looked so convincing because the rest of the field was just backing up. 25 and change final quarter mile, and he won a stakes race going away. Now, maybe the Golden Gate turf course is not as fast as the one at Santa Anita, but that's not a real great come-home time. I respect None Above the Law. I picked him on top. He's the most probable winner. But if there is an odds discrepancy between None Above the Law and the last out upset winner, Ferrariano, I'm going to have my money on Ferrariano. The Snow Chief Stakes, it's None Above the Law and Ferrariano coming to the wire together in race number 9, Saturday at Santa Anita.